So we now know that Joe Biden is absolutely a liar. Now, we've known this for a long time, but now we have the emails to prove it. So in breaking news this morning from the New York Post, Hunter Biden introduced his father, Vice President Joe Biden, to a top executive at Burisma less than a year before Biden pressured the government of Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company. The never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Pozharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 17th, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined Burisma and the board paid him up to $50,000 a month. And we have the email for you right now. Check this out. It says, "Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure," the email reads. Now, an earlier email from 2014 also shows Pozharsky, reportedly Burisma's number 3 executive, asking Hunter for advice on how you could use your influence on the company's behalf. The blockbuster correspondence flies in the face of Joe Biden's claim that he had never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings. The emails are contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer. Now, you should hear how this whole thing played out. This is hysterical. The computer was dropped off at a repair shop in Biden's home state in Delaware in April 2019, according to the store's owner. Other materials extracted from the computer includes a raunchy 12-minute video that appears to show Hunter, now who's admitted in the past to struggling with addiction problems. In the video, Hunter is smoking crack while engaging in a sexual act with an unidentified woman, as well as numerous other sexually explicit images. Now, we'll see whether those videos actually come out. The customer who brought the water-damaged MacBook Pro to the repair shop never paid for the service or retrieved it or a hard drive on which its contents were stored, according to the shop owner, who said he tried repeatedly to contact the client. The shop owner couldn't positively identify the customer as Hunter Biden, but said the laptop bore a sticker from the Beau Biden Foundation, which was a foundation named after Hunter's late brother. Photos from a Delaware federal subpoena given to the New York Post show that both the computer and hard drive were seized by the FBI in December after the shop's owner says he alerted the feds to their existence. But before turning over the gear, the shop owner says he made a copy of the hard drive and later gave it to Mayor Rudy Giuliani's lawyer, Robert Costello. Steve Bannon, former advisor to President Trump, told the Post about the existence of the hard drive in late September, and Giuliani provided the Post with a copy of it on Sunday. Less than 8 months after Pozharsky thanked Hunter Biden for the introduction to his dad, then Vice President Joe Biden admittedly pressured Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko into getting rid of the prosecutor general, Viktor Shokin, by threatening to withhold $1 billion in U.S. loan guarantees during a December 2015 trip to Kyiv. And we all know the famous video, the famous quote, when Joe Biden said it right here. Look, I looked at them and I said, look, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money, Biden said at the Council of Foreign Relations. Well, son of a bitch, he got fired. Those were Joe Biden's own words. Shokin has said at the time of his firing in March 2016, he made specific plans to investigate Burisma that included interrogations and other crime investigation procedures into all members of the executive board, including Hunter Biden. And that's part 1 of the breaking news. Now, part 2 shows Hunter Biden leveraging his connections with his father to increase his pay at Burisma. Now, this is crazy information. Now, is the media going to talk about this? Are you going to hear about this in the New York Times? Are you going to hear about this in the Washington Post? If you hear anything at all about Burisma and this news today, it's going to be all Republicans are pouncing on this information. Like what we're doing right now. We're just pouncing on it rather than talking about the revelations that have come forward this morning. Hunter Biden, this is in the Post, Hunter Biden discussed leveraging his connections with his father to boost his pay in an email that was revealed to the New York Post. In a lengthy memo to his then business partner, Devon Archer, who already sat on Burisma's board, Biden repeatedly mentioned, quote unquote, my guy, while apparently referencing then Vice President Joe Biden. Under President Barack Obama, the elder Biden was a point person for U.S. policy toward Ukraine, and he held a press conference there with Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk on April 22nd, 2014. Hunter Biden's email to Archer is dated a little more than a week earlier. It says, the announcement, quote unquote, the announcement of my guy's upcoming travels should be characterized as part of our advice and thinking. But what he will say and do is out of my hands, Hunter Biden wrote. In other words, it could be a really good thing or it could end up creating too great of an expectation. We need to temper expectations regarding that visit. The email, labeled from Robert Biden, which is Hunter's first name, is among a trove of messages, documents, photos, and videos purportedly recovered from a MacBook Pro that a Delaware computer shop owner told the Post was brought in for repairs. In that email, Hunter Biden wrote to Archer, we need to ask for long-term agreement and across-the-board participation. This is a huge step for us that could easily become very complicated, and if we are not protected financially, regardless of the outcome, we could find ourselves frozen out of a lot of current and future opportunities. It goes on to say, the contract should begin now, not after the upcoming visit from my guy. And he's talking about Vice President Biden. That should also include a retainer in the range of $25,000 per month with additional fees where appropriate for more in-depth work to go to BSF for our protection. Completely separate from our respective deals for re-upping our board participation. It's unclear if Hunter Biden or Archer got any of the $25,000 extra a month. Hunter Biden has reportedly been paid $50,000 a month by Burisma before his lawyer said he stepped off the board in April 2019. Now, obviously, this raises serious questions because we all know, listen, how did Hunter Biden, a noted drug abuser, all right, chronic drug use, with no energy experience, no experience with the Ukraine, how did Hunter Biden find his way to the board of a company where he's being paid over $50,000 a month? Now, you and I would sit there and say, well, listen, if there's smoke, there's fire, okay? Now, we saw this with the media and with the left for the last 4 years, right? We have a lot of smoke around Donald Trump, supposedly, with the fake documents, the fake dossiers, the fake investigations, $40 million. Could you imagine if emails came out that showed Donald Trump Jr. Working with some Russian on a board in the middle of downtown Moscow and being paid $50,000 a month when he had no experience with energy? But yet nobody's raising these questions about Hunter Biden. It takes a Post revealing this treasure trove. Thank God this laptop was brought into the shop owner, or we wouldn't be talking about this. $50,000 a month with no experience at all. What are you led to believe? That obviously Hunter Biden was going to use his father's influence and leverage to help him make money. Now, Joe Biden has been out there every single day, every single time he has been asked about it, which is now and then. He's always denied knowing any information about Burisma or working with the son to help his son on Burisma. Yet we know now that Vice President Biden, not only was he helping, but he also met with executives from Burisma. The email wrapped up with Hunter saying, we should also find a highly credible and discreet firm to perform due diligence and deep information for us on an ongoing basis. The kind of people that can get us information that's not available through a Google search or some phone calls. We could also use our funds to pay for it, and I'm sure your buddies down at Little Creek has some trusted independent contacts that could do the work for us. Now, he's referring to who Little Creek is unclear, but there is a U.S. Navy station located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that's called Joint Expeditionary Base Little Creek. Hunter Biden's lawyer refused to comment on the specifics, but instead attacked Rudy Giuliani. He said he's been pushing widely discredited conspiracy theories about the Biden family, openly relying on actors tied to Russian intelligence, the lawyer George Messeries said of Giuliani. The Joe Biden campaign did not return requests for comment. These are not conspiracy theories, folks. The emails are out there. The FBI got these emails back in December, and it's just now coming out now. The media have not done their due diligence on this. The media has swept this completely under the rug. Again, let's use the same standard of journalism that was used for Donald Trump. If Donald Trump Jr. had these weird connections, if Donald Trump Jr. was paid $3.5 million by the mayor of Moscow, this would be a big deal. If Donald Trump Jr. was shown to be using his father's influence to generate new deals for the Trump organization, which is already alleged, by the way, right? There's an investigation going on right here in New York with Letitia James, looking and searching and hoping and praying that the Trump organization has tried making money off the backs of the president's influence. Now, that has yet to be revealed. We know it's a political witch hunt, but yet they're doing it. When is the media going to get serious about looking into these questions? Here we are, 2.5 weeks away from the election. Joe Biden used his influence, used the power of the vice presidency to enrich his son, making $50,000 a month with no experience in energy, no experience in Ukraine, and a noted crack user and abuser, and yet here he is. Can you and I get that deal? I don't think so. We have more coming up on the Keith Lee Show later today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Take care.